Good morning, traders and holders alike. We're here for a great edition of Tech Talk. It's happening, man. There is so much going on right now. We are so excited. We are so excited to get ready. I think our first topic that we agreed on, electric vehicles. My buddy Aaron, let's kick it off. Electric vehicles. GM, the Bolt has been announced. We are going to 2035 with 100% manufactured vehicles in GM being electric. What is happening? The backbone of this country, once upon a time being in gasoline and diesel motors, is changing, and it's official in the middle of the Super Bowl. Now, they had a Cadillac in the Super Bowl. Don't get me wrong, right? The Bolt is real. The Cadillac was a figment of the imagination, but Will Ferrell wouldn't drive a Bolt. That's my opinion. I could be wrong. But we did have the announcement. It announced at Disney World. They're bringing out all the stops. My buddy Aaron owns the first generation Bolt, so he has a little bit of expertise here. So he was super involved in this. Aaron, let's talk about GM. How you doing, bud?
I'm doing all right. Good morning. And good morning, everyone else. It was an exciting commercial to me. I felt like they talked a little bit too much about the filming of the commercial and not quite as much as I would have liked to have heard about the cars and their features themselves. But nonetheless, it was nice to see a Bolt commercial for the first time in the 4 years I've been watching.
Fair enough. And they're definitely pushing it. That's all they have, right? And just a quick point on the skateboard thing we were talking about the other day. You said that one of them is built in the old way, and there's a new way this new one's built.
So I thought the new one was supposed to be on the Ultium batteries, but no.
Wow.
With the announcement, they are both using the original drivetrain from the Bolt. That's why the Bolt EUV gets slightly less range, is because it's a slightly larger car with slightly more weight.
Got it. So you like the Bolt, right?
I think the Bolt's the most fun car I've ever owned in my life.
Have you ever driven another electric vehicle ever?
I have not driven another electric vehicle yet. So it is my first electric car. I do like the way the one pedal driving is set up on the Bolt, and I heard it's quite a bit different on a lot of the other electrics. So I'm curious to see what I'll think of those when I try one out. I think the Bolt was a fantastic car. The only thing that they did wrong with the Chevy Bolt was not advertising it. It's got enough room that at 6'3", I can have my seat fully adjusted in the front seat, hop in the back, and still have a couple inches between my leg and the back of the seat.
But they made this car. They made this car because of pressure from the government, Aaron. They didn't make this car to sell. And that's not the intention. And I think that we're looking at this new iteration of the Bolt as everything's going EV and we're not ready. And we had this new Bolt that we're getting ready. This is what it looks like to me. It's my opinion, obviously. But now we're got to go full fledged like this. Just in 2020, with the whole world found out, and GM found out, quite frankly, that Tesla happened, and Tesla got into the S&P, and everybody figured out all of the sudden that our future, which is coming, is going to be electric. And now GM, so this is, to me, the Bolt is a car that existed because they kind of had to have it. It's a generation next of the Volt with a V as Victor, and so this is the next step. And so they partner with Disney. They go all hands on deck. They got to get everything that they can do just to get their foot in the room or even close to being in line to this, because Tesla, I don't think there's an argument. Like or hate the company itself, it's light years ahead of General Motors in terms of electrification of their vehicles, and they, you can't compare the two. And so when I hear there's no advertisement, I think that's a pretty easy thing to understand. Now you see from no advertisement to the next generation being the biggest advertisements that they've ever done. I don't know if that's true, but it seems like they put more money and more time into this car in like 20 minutes. Like they're like no to yes.
Well, it does feel like that. They went from suing California over being required to do things like this in order to meet emissions to now saying, hey, we're all in on electric. I think it's great. I think anyone who's been pushing and hoping that one of the bigger manufacturers would make a commitment to electric needs to just say hooray and not start nitpicking. Well, it took them forever to do it. They did it. Be happy. You got what you wanted. Move on. I think that the new Bolt is going to be really cool. I like the look of it. What I don't understand is why no one's talking about the current one though. Currently, you can get the existing 2020 Bolt with 260 miles range. Well, I'm sorry, 259 specifically from the EPA range.
Mhm.
For $20,000 fully loaded, brand new on the lot. No
Right.
incentives. Just go buy it and it's 20 grand. That is the $20,000 Tesla. It's a $20,000 Tesla competitor. It's not a Model 3. There are some features the Model 3 smokes it on, but for $20,000 less, it destroys the Model 3.
Right.
I'm surprised no one's talking about it. But if you would like a Chevy Bolt, you can go to Jessup Chevy here in the great state of California and pick one up for $19,000 to $23,000, depending on how you'd like it spec'd, on a car that normally MSRPs for $46,000. I don't know if you're ever going to see a car that's over 50% off its MSRP brand new on a lot again in your lifetime. Any car.
Must be incredibly desired. All right, so that's amazing. What else? What else on GM? Anything else relevant other than that? I mean, they made the biggest step in the whole wide world. Never mind this part of the commercial where they screwed up. You know that you tell everybody what this was supposed to be.
Okay, so one of the things about the commercial that I thought was a failure to promote this car properly. During the commercial, they're driving along in the Bolt EUV. They pass some ghosts on the side of the road, and then magically the ghosts are in the back of the car.
Yeah,
so the lady looks at her rear view mirror, and she sees that there's nothing back there. Then she flips the little lever on the rear view mirror, and all of a sudden she sees her passenger as well as the ghost in the back seat. What you're seeing in this moment is a feature. On the Bolt, it has a camera looking out the back of the car, and you can see through the mirror as a video screen what's behind you. As soon as you flip the mirror, then it stops being a video screen, and now you're seeing the back seat.
Mm-hmm.
That's a feature, but no one's going to pick that up due to the way they showed it on the commercial. They're not going to clue that in at all.
Wonder what that cost them. Look at all that money they got in there. 2035, everything they make is going to be electric. Good luck. Good luck, GM. You're going to need.
They're a hard company to sort out. They're a hard company to sort out. They've been working with the military on EV development for military vehicles.
They're all over China.
They have Bright Drop. They have Bright Drop, which is a delivery van that's a GM made van, but they formed it as a different name. You've got them working with China with the Wuling Mini EV. I think they're producing 20,000 units a month. They're doing more things than is on the surface. So I'm having a difficult time sorting out what I think of them and what their odds are.
And staying with EVs on this one, we'll take from GM to CCIV. My goodness, what a day! It's on. The merger is on. It's not on, but it definitely sounded like it and felt like it yesterday with all of this up.
I think if there's any confusion of what my assessment is of GM, I'm very clear on what my assessment is of CCIV. So that one's been fun to watch. We jumped on that.
Man,
$19,
$19.20. Yeah. Sure did. Still got yeah, I still got 20 right there. You can see.
And it looks like all of our research has paid off. Leading up to this, there were rumors that CCIV was going to be buying Lucid Motors. For anyone who's not in the loop, that's what we're discussing. This came out on the 11th of January, I believe, with the original article was posted. And since then, it's been purely a spec play, no confirmation. Researchers have discovered that one of the sitting board members for CCIV is also a sitting board member for Lucid, as well as a representative for a Saudi Arabian capital fund. all three are involved with Lucid Motors and this merger. So it seems like it would be in the best interest of all parties involved for this to be the people that carry the deal home. Since then, we saw a huge spike yesterday, a huge spike in a matter of minutes, and that was upon a report from Bloomberg stating that Michael Klein said they were close to a deal. Still no official confirmation, but that was enough to bring the stock up about $10 a share, partially due to the fact that the valuation they gave for the company was at 12 billion rather than 15, which means there's more meat on the bone.
Yeah, I got 20 shares, all of it. I've sold it all on the way up, just because it's so risky, right? No guarantees in any of this stuff. And man, what a great run this was. But I definitely kept those 20. I think you've got 13 or so, right? So our original small little teeny position is still there. I'd like to keep that forever, see where it goes.
We doubled our money and then we sold some profits, and now we're holding what's left.
Fair enough. Fair enough. CCIV into what? We do have NIO. We could bring up NIO here. We could get into the China space a little bit. We'll round out back to Tesla. NIO's pretty cool. Here's their new ride. I think the ET7's got their LiDAR system on here. I think this unveiled. You and I were up till 2 in the morning, or at least I was. I know you're in California, time is a little different, but we were up early watching that show. I think it was 70% drama, shows, entertainment, and maybe just the rest in the car. But the car is beautiful. They've got a neat system there with battery swap technology. I know Tesla looked at this once, or we had it somewhere in the United States at one time, and it never took off. But they have been able to create an infrastructure with battery swap technology, which is very cool, right?
NIO, XPEV, Li are three of the bigger ones over in China right now. From what I've seen from guys on the street through YouTube and stuff like that over in China, he said the most common car you'll see on the road's NIO, followed by Li, and then XPEV is a little bit further down. I think they're really cool cars. They're looking to try to bring them over to the United States. We'll have to see how that goes. I think if you want to get into the Chinese market, it's a really good play. They have about 3 times the size of the car market that the United States does. So there's a lot of opportunity for growth over there compared to elsewhere in the world. So definitely something to keep your eye on if you want to be in the EV space and you're okay with investing in something outside of your home area.
Right on. Very cool. I'm glad there's a nice competitor out there. All right. And then NIO, Tesla. We have a lot going on in Tesla. The stock's not doing so hot lately. Speaking of Tesla, buying opportunity, boys and girls. But so let's talk about the latest here. Obviously, everybody knows Tesla is just absolutely insane. It's groundbreaking in so many ways to so many different companies. It's making things like GM. I mean, you can argue this, but I think Tesla has created the argument and that GM now has to change the way they do business to reflect, quite frankly, more like Tesla. But to bring Tesla into perspective here, Elon Musk buys $1.5 billion of Bitcoin. And this also brings us into Bitcoin, which is just crossed 50,000 again, I guess, in the last couple of days here. I believe it's still up. Yeah, look at that, 51,178. It's a story in itself where, there's a lot of question of whether this is going to be a new currency or just crypto itself, and not necessarily Bitcoin, but what is the future in this? And I don't think there's much of an argument that this will be a future one way or another, whether it's transactional Bitcoin through like something more like Ethereum, or if it's Bitcoin, or if it's a Dogecoin, like there's so much happening. Blockchain in general, absolutely. And what does that look like? And us sitting here looking at it in this time is just a truly amazing thing, because it's the very beginning. And I know it's been around for a few years, but it's now you've got somebody buying $1.5 billion. A very prominent individual, Mr. Elon Musk, has bought 1.5. I guess Tesla did, not just him, which makes it a very interesting purchase for the company. And very interesting for crypto. Very interesting for our future. What do you think, Aaron? Give me some Bitcoin and Tesla specifically buying $1.5 billion.
So it definitely had an impact on the price of Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Things to keep in mind in its relation to Tesla. From what I understand, when you buy Bitcoin, because of the way Bitcoin is viewed at this point, it does not count as an asset on your register when you do your quarterly report. So on the next Tesla quarterly report, it's going to look like the 1.5 billion is just gone. Now, if the price of your Bitcoin goes up before your next quarterly report, any gains that your Bitcoin makes in value are not allowed to be published on your quarterly earnings report. So it still doesn't look like it did you any net positive. If you have any losses in your Bitcoin portfolio during that same time, you do have to claim the additional losses. So if something like that were to happen, where Bitcoin is reduced in price, or say they had a quarter that wasn't quite as productive as they had originally anticipated, it could make the next earnings report look substantially lower artificially, which may cause some panic selling, and people will bail out thinking the company is going down when nothing fundamentally has changed. The value of the company's expectation, the expected value of the company has remained the same. So I would say you're going to get a good sale on Tesla here pretty soon. I don't think it's necessarily jump the ship, but if the red scares you, you can always try to buy back in later. I think the other thing you're seeing going on right now is, for a long time, people were holding Tesla as being the surefire pony that's going to run. And it's been running like a champ all last year. Right now, there's several other markets that are having their Tesla moments where they're having incredible gains in capital. And I think a lot of people that have been trading Tesla as trading are moving their money over to other markets where there's more going on at the moment.
Lots
For
of
example, stuff like CCIV, we doubled our money in a month. Tesla is not moving that fast right now. There's the pop markets. If that legalizes, that happens once. Those are going to go up. You're going to have key moments for certain companies that don't happen again. And Tesla will have more catalysts later in the year where it's going to have some pretty good spikes, is my prediction. But those are a little ways out, and some of these other catalysts are happening right now. So a lot of people use Tesla as kind of a holding stock. When they don't have a play for their money, they throw it in Tesla because they know it's going to grow over time and they're confident in that. But if there's currently an opportunity available, they'll sell out a bunch of their Tesla, jump on the opportunity, and then they'll jump back over.
So
I think that's what's going on right now.
780 right about now. So yeah, a little lower on the scale, but it's definitely had a run up since its S&P induction, which was amazing and fantastic to bring it into the American home. We were all part of that experience back then. What a great run up that was. Do we even remember the 7s and the 8s?
Good call, Pat. Good call, Pat. You just mentioned something. The S&P inclusion. The date, we're currently 17 days into February. They had 2 months for all the other funds that mirror the S&P to buy in and get their accounts set up. That buying pressure is going to run out.
Right. You can see that here.
Yep. So that 2 months of buying pressure is probably about tapped out. So it may have a bit of a pullback if the funds are done doing their institutional buying. And again, everything we say in here related to stocks, investing, or anything else is just two dudes that love tech that are showing you what we're doing with our money. We're never going to tell you what to do with yours.
Entertainment purposes only. Yada, yada, yada. We'd like you to come back and join us. We're trying to do this at least once a week. We got a lot of stuff planned, but we wanted to just get some things out. We wanted to be next to each other, but COVID has prevented that. We'll do some tech talks. We want to get into a little more specific shows. We want to do some daily stuff. We're going to want to do there's a lot of things that we have planned. We're going to stick to the basics for now. We're going to get this stuff out, get the information in front of everyone, make this a place that you can kind of come learn and see what's going on. We talked mostly about what has happened up to this point, kind of catching up on EVs, catching up on where Bitcoin is, and just beginning. This is just the beginning. So we're really going to push forward on this. We hope you guys and girls come along. And I am Patrick. That is Aaron. We will see you soon.